Hello there fellow Star Wars fans, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I will be answering the question, why do droids have emotions? Now I did this video a while ago, but it wasn't really good and it was really short, so I deleted it. In this version, I'm going to go over some of the same points and add some new ones. So apologies to the 8 people who watched the original one, hopefully this one is better. Now, let's begin. Droids are basically robots. Not basically, they are robots. They were created to help people in the galaxy perform a wide variety of tasks, ranging from protocol droids to help around the house or to help translate for their owners, and battle droids to help governments fight wars. Now, if droids are just robots, they are wires, circuits, and gears, all run by an artificial intelligence processing system that acts like a brain. So why do they act emotionally? We see droids get scared, nervous, other droids act sad, and some even get angry. We've even seen droids cry out in pain. They're machines. How can they feel pain? This doesn't make sense. So what is the reason for this? Now, the out-of-universe reason is because Star Wars is made for kids, and George Lucas probably decided that droids were a great way to get comic relief in the movie, which I agree with, especially considering how much time we spent with those characters in A New Hope. Then later in the Clone Wars, which was especially made for kids, the droids were even more emotional. C-3PO is a perfect example of an emotional droid. Since the very first time we were introduced to his character in A New Hope, he constantly whines, gripes, and acts nervous. C-3PO is probably one of the most emotional droids we've ever seen. The reason C-3PO and many droids act emotionally has to do with the AI that runs their brains. Just like regular human brains, AI controls and runs them. It is responsible for helping them do what they're told to do. An astromech has its assignments and a probe droid has its. But why do some of them have personalities? In my opinion, it comes down to 3 reasons. Number 1, their programming. As I've said several times earlier in this video, each droid is programmed for a task. This task has been known to affect their personality. For instance, a droid whose master commanded it to deliver a message to someone might seem stubborn because it wouldn't let anything get in its way until it completes the task. Think of R2-D2 delivering the message to Obi-Wan. A droid who's programmed to teach might seem strict because its only objective is to teach the required lesson plan. C-3PO's job for a lot of his life was basically to be a butler, which is partially why he acts the way he does, like a nervous British butler. Reason number 2, their personality can be used to protect them. Why do we get afraid? Why do we feel pain? These emotions, while negative, can protect us from danger. If we were never afraid, there's a decent chance we do dangerous and stupid things all the time. Sure, logic definitely would play into it, which is why droids have logic circuits to help them think and reason. But I think that the reasons droids sometimes act afraid is to help them be safe from danger. Think about it. Remember when C-3PO and R2 had a disagreement on which way to go in A New Hope? R2, who had been programmed by Leia to give a message to Obi-Wan, wanted to go one way, and C-3PO acted scared and went in what he thought was a less dangerous way. Do you see where I'm going with this? The systems designed to protect them can make them act afraid. Now, this obviously doesn't apply to every single droid. Some droids never act emotional at all, it's just some droids like C-3PO that are the ones who get scared. This also plays a part in why droids scream out in pain. Pain is used to help us know when something is wrong with our body. It's like an alarm system. For instance, if you break your ankle, you feel pain. If you try to use your ankle while it's injured, it would injure it more. That's why we feel pain. Same thing with droids. Droids were given pain receptors to help them know when they're injured. We even see this with some of the cybernetics in the Star Wars universe. In The Empire Strikes Back, when Luke gets his new hand, we see them poking it to test that he can feel pain. Palpatine has even punished Vader by cutting off his metal hand. The same principle applies to droids. The last reason has to do with other programming and modifications that might have happened to droids. The 2 main droids that I've talked about in this video, C-3PO and R2-D2, were both owned by Anakin Skywalker. In fact, C-3PO was basically built by Anakin. In the Revenge of the Sith novel, we learned from Padme that Anakin had tinkered with the droids. Remember, he liked to fix things. He's been known to make modifications on things like his ship. He no doubt modified the droids as well. This probably affect their personalities. In Heir to the Empire, we got more evidence when Han, Luke, and Leia are trying to modify C-3PO to help them with an assignment. When going about it, they're careful as to not change his personality. For some reason, they like him like that. So that is my explanation of why droids seem like they have emotions. Their logic processors help them to complete their programming and not get injured. One thing you have to note is the fact that many, if not most, droids don't actually act emotional. They process their quote-unquote emotions internally. Some droids, like C-3PO, just say whatever is running through their logic processor in their their brains out loud. The medical droids that we've seen in Revenge of the Sith are very matter-of-fact and unemotional. Same with the battle droids in The Phantom Menace. The battle droids don't really have any personalities. It wasn't until the Clone Wars when the Neimoidians stopped using a centralized computer system and started making them functional on their own. They started to talk more and express themselves. It's things like this that can affect droids. Anyway, what do you guys think about my theory? Do you agree with it? Why or why not? Any feedback is greatly appreciated. If you like this video, why not consider subscribing to get more content like this? Thank you, and may the Force be with you.